Okay, guys. So, yeah, my internet, I guess, kind of bummed out on me. So, I am trying to do it on my phone now. Please take a minute, watch the other video if you didn't see it. Just talking about what's happening in the world right now and how it can be especially hard to think about body image and sex right now, and that a lot of us are really triggered. Recommending seeking out body positive influencers. So I posted that in the comments of the other video. I'll post it in the comments here, and I'll just post it as its own post in the group as well. And then recommended the movie Embrace. It's a great documentary about an amazing woman, and it has all kinds of good stuff. If you're, having issues with body image. Which I actually don't know very many women who don't have any issues with body image. So I think the world should see it. And then also talking about, if you're struggling to feel, if you're struggling to be present and enjoy sex, it's likely a safety issue. Either, gosh, my phone is blowing up, of course. So either, it's potentially like a trauma issue, right? So you're struggling with safety there, or it's often an issue with not feeling good about your body and the way your body looks or the size of your body. So having those influences is really helpful, because a lot of times we're told in our culture that it's not okay to enjoy sex, period. But especially for those of us who don't have like the quote unquote ideal body. So what to do about a thing like that? Well, I think first and foremost, it really boils down to loving ourselves no matter what. And so that's, having to divorce ourselves from the cultural conditioning that we get that we're not good enough if our body looks a certain way or doesn't look a certain way. And so, some of you have seen my Will Manifesto. Know that you are valuable and worthy of love and respect, which includes enjoying and having pleasure in sex. For those of you who want to enjoy and have pleasure in sex. And so you're valuable and worthy of that no matter what. But that can be a really challenging thing to know. And not knowing that on the deepest level and not practicing that in your life can make any health related, it can make enjoying life challenging. It can make making yourself a priority challenging. It can make having sex and enjoying sex a challenge, right? So it can really influence all of these areas. So that deeper work is really learning to love yourself no matter what. And what does that look like? Well, it looks like being kind to ourselves, right? So saying kind things. It looks like providing care for ourselves. So, if you, need to go to the doctor, going to the doctor. If you, making sure that you're getting nourishing food into your body. Also not beating yourself up when you choose to eat a cupcake, right? Or a whole gallon of ice cream or whatever it is. It looks like learning to slow down and rest when you need to slow down and rest. So I would really encourage everyone to start there. But also, just being kind to our bodies in other ways, like even if you're not feeling like you're ready to be like, yes, I love myself, right? Just being really gentle with ourselves, like wearing clothes that are really comfortable and, wrapping ourselves in blankets, whatever that feels, whatever that kindness, whatever actions would make you feel that you are giving kindness to yourself. That's really valuable and important. And then I would say, when it comes to body image, some of us have amazing partners that we can work through those issues with. I would really take a look at whether that person is somebody you feel safe doing that with, either because of their personality and the way that they are in the world, or because of, and just because of your own safety and trigger issues, right? So some women may never feel comfortable working through that with their current partner. So a lot of that work has to come from first knowing your value and your worth, and that you deserve to enjoy sex, and that it's a healthy part of your body. And then looking at loving your body and knowing that the size of your body today doesn't make a difference in whether you get to enjoy sex or not. But then you have to actually get to the point where you can still enjoy it, right? Like it's like a muscle. So knowing that and then practicing that are two different things. So I would say for some women, it might feel more safe to practice the loving your body in a sexual way, alone, right? So for some people, it's like looking in the mirror and saying kind things to yourself. For some people, it's exploring your body a little bit more. For some people, it's just not. Somebody mentioned in the question, it was mentioned like having to make a joke. So practicing restraint, right? And when you want to make that joke, instead say something kind to yourself. And knowing that it's not going to be like a rip the Band-Aid off situation, right? It's going to be more like little tiny baby steps, and that's part of loving ourselves too, is honoring that it's a process. And many of us are 40, 50, 60 years old, right, in this group. So by the time you've been in this body living this way for 30, 40, 50 years, it took a long time to get to this point. It takes a long time to get to a different point. But that being said, small shifts can make a huge difference. So some of you have heard the 1 degree shift can make the difference of which continent you land on if you're sailing across the ocean. So over time, that 1 degree shift has a huge impact. So yes, I hope you'll check out those resources that I mentioned, and know that right now is an especially vulnerable time, and a lot of us are feeling really triggered. It can be a really good time if you feel safe enough to start doing this work of, noticing your internal, dialogue, and noticing whether you're really truly caring for yourself and starting to love yourself through all of this. I use the Ho'oponopono practice, which is I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. And doing that forgiveness work, even in the bedroom. Like maybe you're somebody who hasn't had sex for a couple of years, right? And again, I'm not a sex therapist. This is not my area of expertise, but I know how deeply intertwined body image, the way that we treat ourselves and take care of ourselves, the way that we talk to ourselves, how all of those things, and then the cultural conditioning, how all of those things are playing into our relationship with ourselves. And that is, sex is a big piece of our relationship with ourselves and with our partners if we have one. Just honoring those things, giving ourselves some forgiveness. If you have been not present or unavailable in that area, there may be some self-forgiveness that needs to happen, and just loving ourselves through that. All right. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. I didn't really expect to be talking about this today. It was a great question. I really appreciate the vulnerability of the person who asked that question. And I think right now it's really pertinent. And I hope that you will all know that you, again, are valuable and worthy of love and respect no matter what. I'll post the link to my Womanifesto in the comments. Again, you're valuable of love and respect and sex, right? You're valuable and worthy of love and respect and sex and pleasure, and also being multifaceted. And this is another area that we can practice deep love and self-respect and self-care in. It shifts and it changes and it's hard. So anyways, I don't know if anybody even got on here. I think some people try to get on the other one, and I think part of it probably just totally didn't work. So technology is not my friend today, but this is what I got. I would love to hear how you have worked through body image issues around, especially in the bedroom. Let's really get vulnerable if you feel safe. Know that I understand that right now, many of the women in my life and that I know are feeling really triggered. So this can be really healing work, but if it feels too much for you, feel free to hide this post or, stay off the group for a little while just to get some distance from it. But I would still encourage you to check out Embrace and those body positive influencers that I post in the comments. All right. I hope you have a wonderful day, and it's beautiful out here in Portland. I hope you get to enjoy some of that time. Take care.